Hello, my friends, and welcome back. We got a little piece of news here coming from the Ukrainian intelligence services, and information that they provide is very interesting. Why is it interesting? It's because I don't see how they get that information, but maybe they tell us. So let's go and see. This information, this article comes from Ukrainska Pravda from June 3rd, 2022, and this is the title. Ukrainian intelligence has contact with POWs from Azov Regiment, Minister of Internal Affairs says. So somehow the Ukrainians have access to the POWs, prisoners of war from Azov Regiment that are held in captivity by the Russians after they surrendered in Mariupol and Azovstal steel plant. So, Denis Monastyrsky, Minister of Internal Affairs of Ukraine, said that Ukrainian intelligence officers have contact with Azov regiment soldiers who were defending Mariupol and who are now held as Russia's prisoners of war. Source: Ministry of Internal Affairs on Telegram quoted Monastyrsky during the national 24/7 newscast. Quote, and I'm quoting this Monastyrsky. Today, our intelligence officers from the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine are in contact with the guys, the imprisoned Azov regiment soldiers. They are supplying us with information, including the conditions in which they are held, whether they have enough food, and the possibilities of freeing them. End quote. Details. The ministry insisted that, and I'm quoting, we all know that they will end up here in Kiev, and we are doing everything we can to achieve this. One thing he did not mention, will those prisoners end up in Kiev warm or cold? You mean dead or alive? Because I think that's very important to know, because that makes a big difference, right? Yes. And it says here that on the May 30th, the relatives of Mariupol defenders said they had no information about the fighters. So they don't have information, but nevertheless, the intelligence services of Ukraine has information, has contact with. We're going to discuss how is that possible. On May 20th, the Russian Ministry of Defense said that all Ukrainian soldiers had left Azovstal. It claimed that a total of 2,439 soldiers had left the Azovstal bunkers since May 16th, and that these soldiers are now considered Russian prisoners of war. All right, so let's see. If you like normal people, what do you expect? So when some in a war, the enemy surrenders, what do you do the first thing? At the point of the gun, you make him hold his hands up, right? That's the first thing. The second one, either you holding the gun, gonna start, touching and figuring out if he's got any weapons, right? And at the same time, you communicate with the guy, since Ukrainians and Russians speak almost the same language, so they understand one another perfectly, almost, right? If you are more than one, then one is holding the gun, the other one is checking and verifying. Whatever they find, they either, they will take away, nevertheless, what they do with that. So what I'm saying, the first thing you do, you make sure it doesn't have guns or transmission equipment or receiving transmission equipment and so on. Then you get them after you're sure they don't have anything. Obviously, you check their boots and everything. So they should not have anything. You get them in the truck, you put them in the vetting section, right? And then this is what happens. They get stripped butt naked. So naked, you can see their things, you can see everything. And then sometimes after you control, you check everything, make them squat, make them do some backflips, whatever you make them do. Then sometimes there are some cavity searches. That means they take some gloves, or they don't want to take gloves. That's their choice. And they check the cavities for things. This is what you do. The mouth and the stomach. You are the stomach. How you do that? The stomach, you're not going to go and put cameras in. You wait. and you verify their poop. Yes, that's what you do. Verify what they poop, because they could have ingested something and they waited for it at the end. Small things, and they wait for it when they poop. So that's how this is, I would say, general procedure. I mean, there's some other advanced ones when you have them sorted in one room and blah, blah, blah. That's a different story. So this is, I'm pretty sure, I'm 99.9% certain that these guys that were captured, they surrendered, they are checked everywhere under, they are supervised, monitored 24 hours 7, 24/7. Okay, and they're, even as I said, their poop, their first 2 poops or 3 poops, they are verified, they are checked, if they don't do that, then too bad, that means they're not professionals. So there's no way those guys that were surrendered have any ways to communicate with these guys in Ukraine, unless you have guards who are agents of the other side, who, if they are on Ukrainian payroll, then they can facilitate the information, what's going on over there. And probably, maybe, possibly, this is the only way these guys, not the only way, because you can tap into communication between the facilities where these guys are held with exterior, so you can probably figure out what they say and you get a hint. Oh, okay, give me some this, give me this, so they might know. Or, as I said, the most possible thing is they have guards or people involved in keeping the prisoners over there into the payroll. They are, how should I put it, Ukrainian operatives. And then they know these are probably their guys that they said, their boys, not the ones that were checked in their butts. Not those guys. Those are cleaner than a crystal. That's how it is. So that's how they probably have that information regarding saving them. I do not think that's a chance. I think 0.1% or 1%, not even 1%. But I'm pretty sure the Russians are not stupid, and they took them to locations where this guy cannot possibly, even if they drop over there, let's say to extract them from there and get them to safety, probably they have to go, I don't know, they have to land like 3 Hercules transport airplanes, American ones, to get all the necessary, I was about to say volunteers, prisoners. Or maybe you just take a few that you want to take, but I don't think they're capable of overwhelming the defense mechanism of the Russians, where these guys are held. These guys are held like they're diamonds. Their value is in diamonds, not in, because that's good for propaganda, that's good for information, that's good for proving that they are Nazis, blah, 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 all that. So no, that's maybe the biggest achievement, one of the biggest achievements I would put on top with everything, the advances that they did, that the Russians actually did. That's the one right there. So we'll find out. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.